Okay, so what have we learned so far about the fundamental particles that exist and we detect in large hadron collisions or cloud chambers? We have discovered that everything in the universe is made out of particles of matter that we call fermions. This is just to honor Fermi, an Italian physicist. And particles of force or exchange particles that we call bosons. Boson is just the name of an Indian um, physicist also, right? So don't worry too much about the names. Matter and energy or forces. Now, matter could come as light particles that we call leptons, from the Latin word light, small particles, like for example the electron, or harder particles, hadrons, made of quarks. Could be made of 3 quarks, baryons, 2 quarks, mesons. So here we have the 12 particles of matter, right? 6 quarks, 6 leptons, and then 4 forces of nature. The gluon that is responsible for keeping the protons together in the nucleus. This gluon is responsible for atoms to actually exist with a neutron, with a nucleus. The photons, the electromagnetic exchange particle, responsible for everything we see, we touch. Our senses respond to photons. And the W plus, W minus Z bosons, they are connected to the weak forces. So these are the ones that have the smallest range. This is big range because these are photons, they travel at the speed of light. The gluon, very, very small ranges. And these are the particles, 12 particles of matter, 4 forces in nature. This is what this song is about. A beautiful song. The universe is made up 12 particles of matter, 4 forces of nature. Watch this song. It's called the Cosmos. So we could summarize what we know about these forces in another map. This is a map just to see how these forces are different in nature, different ranges, and what these forces are acting on. For example, the gravitron. This is the only missing particle in the puzzle. We haven't yet been able to detect and measure gravitrons. But they are responsible for gravitational forces, their range is infinite, and they act on anything that has mass or energy. Photons, particles of light, electromagnetic particles, infinite range also, and they act on charges. So this is between electrons. Very interesting. The interaction between photons and electrons, the photoelectric effect. Then gluons, particles that are inside the nucleus, very strong, very strong. The Velcro that keeps the nucleus together. The ranges are very small, the size of a proton. And they act on quarks. And finally, the W bosons, weak forces, even smaller ranges than the gluons. They are responsible for the decay, the transformation of matter, a proton becoming a neutron, and that kind of thing that is happening, as we have already seen. And then there is this strange particle that we will talk about, the Higgs boson. It's a scalar field. Interesting what scalar field means. But they say now temperature is also a scalar field, and I agree with that idea. This Higgs boson is in the plus and in the minus infinite. It is in the big and in the smallest of the cosmos. Right? It is like an omnipresent field. That's why it was called God's particle, because it's everywhere. Everything that has mass is explained by this field that is interacting with massless particles. So these are the fundamentals behind the standard model. And the standard model is also just a model that belongs to a wider theory. They want to fit this model into one theory, the string theory. And this is a talk that I strongly recommend. It's in the notes, watch it. Beautiful visuals to understand these difficult words. The dance of Shiva. Again, this analogy written by Fritjof Capra. Beautiful picture. The symbol of destruction, the rhythm of creation, the drums for creation. Phase, calm, detached, beyond polarity. Do not fear. Protectivity. The position of the hands and the feet. Maya. Anything that can be measured. And the dance of Shiva, destroying human ignorance to achieve moksha, liberation. So these are other ways of understanding the mystery of the transformation of that which is not into existence. Shiva means that which is not. It is a sound, not even a person. Shiva. Okay. So these are the particles that we know. And now we're going to pause and learn this language by playing Quizlets. What do you say? We need to learn a language. We need to learn what the words mean and then dig into this model. Maybe you can put this on a t-shirt. You need to familiarize yourself with these words. Interesting. We're learning a language to explain nature. So we stop there. Terima kasih. Namaste.